Right now, we are experiencing Neptune's last breath in Pisces. This is deep, you guys. This is so profound. I cannot even. This is not only the dissolution of your own illusions, your own wounds, your own martyrdom, your own victimhood, because Pisces is a lot about martyrdom and victimhood, and we have been dissolving a lot if it comes to that. But this is deep collective undoing, and the souls that are so attuned to the universe, the souls that are the feeling bodies of the universe, they are not only witnessing the death of their own psyche, own illusions, but they are witnessing and feeling the death of the whole freaking collective. So if you are finding yourself in a place right now where you feel you need to withdraw, you need to be in silence, you need to make art, you need to write poetry, make music, communicate to different worlds, then listen to this calling, because this transit is not going to occur again in our lifetime. And besides that, together with Saturn, this transit will not occur in a very, very, very long time. That's why it's so hard to pinpoint what the experience is right now. It is Pisces doesn't let itself to be defined. It doesn't let itself be cubicled in a rational experience. And that is exactly the magic of Pisces. Let yourself immerse in those last breaths of Neptune in Pisces, in its home house. It's incredibly esoteric, spiritual, deep. At the same time, it can also be very delusional, addicted, oriented, um, pain body activated. It's just where are you in your own spiritual development that will give form to what you are experiencing right now, whether it's the shadow side of Pisces or whether it's the deeper consciousness, the deeper awakening in Pisces. And there is no right or wrong in this, whether you are experiencing deep, profound spiritual insights and divine flow, being with the Creator, really feeling what infinity is all about, being the deep, vast ocean instead of the separate waves on the surface. But it's just as a spiritual experience when we are feeling we are in a place of struggle, not being able to connect with the deep, vast ocean, being overly identified with the waves on the surface, struggling with addiction, struggling with victimhood, martyrdom. wherever you are in your journey, this is exactly where you need to be. So please, please stop judging yourself. Everybody has its own pace. Everybody has its own journey if it comes to this incredible fast ascension process we're in. And on top of Neptune's last presence in Pisces, we have gone through some tremendous solar and geomagnetic activity, which only increases the the astrological placements. So whenever we have those spikes, those solar spikes, geomagnetic activity, it will increase the influence of the current astrology. And current astrology is not mild, so to say. Setna is in there really talking also. Setna in Gemini. I don't know if you guys know about Setna. The myth that she is about, she has been, she was on this boat together with her father. And at one point, the water became chaotic and volatile, and the father chose to throw his daughter overboard. And when Setna fell into the ocean, she clung with her fingers onto the boat, and her father chopped her fingers off. In which this is deep death, dying, and the moment when she thinks all is lost, her fingers transform into these beautiful sea creatures, and she becomes the embodiment of the ocean. So her story isn't so much about pain, only about pain and suffering, and although it is a part of her journey, as it is of ours, it's what lingers in my system. If I connect to Setna, it's about the metamorphosis she's gone through. She has managed to transform her pain and betrayal and hurt into divinity, into awakening. And talking about the father, we have just gone through a tremendous undoing in Capricorn. Almost all our personal planets have crossed Capricorn, all talking to Saturn and Neptune in the last degrees of Pisces. It's about dissolving the patriarchy, hierarchy, control. Capricorn, in his most shadowish side, is about I want control despite anything else. And a lot of us have experienced that in our childhood, being brought up by parents who wanted control above anything else, even if it made their own children ill, if it was mentally, physically, emotionally. So this is really deep undoing that we have gone through. The last, this wasn't just only our personal planets transiting through Capricorn. This was a deep communication with Satna being present, with Saturn and Neptune in the last degree of Pisces. This is deep collective trauma, deep undoing trauma that has been settling in our DNA for thousands of years. The suppression. I made a video about it a few days ago, you guys. When I made that video, almost all our personal planets were in Capricorn. I really felt the suppression that has been put upon us, being silenced, being controlled, not being able to express ourselves the way we are, being defined by social norms and how we're supposed to be. We have just gone through that. Now the planets are transiting through Aquarius, and we're finally feeling that new energy coming in. The newness, where we are heading. It's a more detached, less intense, emotionally intense, but it's a pineal gland expanding experience. So this is a different energy. It doesn't make it less intense, because Aquarius can be mind-blowing. It just shows in a not so emotionally intense way, but it shows very directly what's truth, and we start seeing things very, very clearly right now. Yeah. So this is what we're in. The solar activity and geomagnetic activity have purged so much that all gunk in our system. You might have experienced throat activations big time. I have experienced this big time. Feeling ascension symptoms in the neck, in the jaws, what we have, what we couldn't express, what we couldn't speak out, radiating even towards the ears. There's so much trauma that has been held in this upper region of not being able to speak our truth. Migraines, a lot of people have experienced migraines, nausea, acid reflux, and still are experiencing some of these symptoms, because although the geomagnetic activity and the solar activity has been going down, the effects are still lingering. Our body is still integrating everything that has just, it was just a full on blow upon us, and although in our minds we are further and we see where we're heading, our emotional and physical body needs to catch up. So let it. Give yourself the time to be with yourself, because Pisces is a very behind the scenes. It's not so much about wanting to be very much in connection with people. It's about really being in solitude, healing what needs to be healed, making art out of all these deep, intense emotional sensations that we are feeling, so we can transmute this energy in a more flowy way. Let it be ungraspable. Give yourself the time to be out of space and time, because this energy, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've lost complete sense of time and what day it is. And normally I'm very punctual, I'm very much I'm a very Virgo type, so I'm very early in that way, but now I'm really a little. I feel this Piscean flow, It's infinity that is so much more on the foreground right now, and not so much the earthy responsibilities and the 3D world, It's a different reality, and one is not better than the other. Just see that we are under a very strong Piscean influence. Sometimes it's good to take a bit of that. The opposite of Pisces is Virgo, to feel okay. I just need to go out for a walk in nature. I need to cook myself a good meal to balance it a bit out, to ground ourselves. But don't put too much strain on yourself. This is not the time to become very rigid in I'm supposed to be doing this, and that, and I need to be doing this, and this. Let it happen, and give yourself some earthy input once in a while, so you remain a bit connected to the dual world. That is not wrong to do, especially in these times. So I leave you guys with this. As always, love to hear from you guys, how you are feeling, how are you doing, and talk to you next time.